sometimes.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the game. We're here for Elevate versus NOCAP. It's our final match of the night, and this is a grudge match if I have ever seen one before. It is Dev here and Pengu. Do you read me?
I read you loud and clear, good sir. How are you doing? Feeling good about this? Yeah,
I'm
excited?
actually really excited because I am, as most people who watch Asia may know, I'm the biggest NOCAP shill because I love the NOCAP roster. Back when they were Elevate, they achieved so much. They went to the Berlin Mage, they went to Six Invitational 2022, they did a lot of cool stuff. And since then, it's been quite a crazy time. At the start of last year, Elevate and the roster parted ways. Elevate put together what they were calling a super team with Uppe, Speakeasy, and since then we've had some EU imports like Shed joining the roster and a young up-and-coming player like NOCAP. But this NOCAP roster is what a lot of people are hyping up at the moment because Onigiri is back, and this is the same OG roster. And so, yeah, this is just an exciting grudge match. I'm really keen to see what happens because historically Elevate have looked like the better team in the last year or so since these guys have met in the server, and I think that there's a chance that NOCAP might be able to change it.
Do you feel like there's any sort of like bad blood between NOCAP, the players, and Elevate being like, you know what, we're gonna take them down because that's our old place, like that's our old home, or do you not think that that matters for this one?
Yeah, look, personally, I don't think, maybe once upon a time that would have been the case, but from speaking on Onigiri recently, I don't think there's actually that much bad blood between the team and the organization, and obviously these players all know each other, especially players like Speakeasy and Uppe who've been in the scene for a very long time. Like Speakeasy's a real OG now. So much respect between these players, and really I just think NOCAP just wants to get themselves back to being a serious contender because they've been mid-pack for quite some time. And in the Direwolves game we talked about how Direwolves actually beat NOCAP in the quarterfinals of Stage 1. NOCAP really want to be in that conversation for top 2. And Elevate, to be fair, are kind of thinking the same thing because they've kind of been shuffled out by Fury and Bleed.
So the top 4 right now can definitely be a bit of a shake-up and go in different ways, and this is one of those games that can help define the outcome of the end of this stage, at least for the groups portion. Of course, in playoffs you got best of 3, so landscape's gonna change a little bit there, but curious to see if we can see like NOCAP kind of experience shining through here. Oh, they're opening Picos to Elevate actually. That's Ash gonna find the opening onto Scatman. He's gonna be in the grave very early on, and this is classic Chalet. Early action, cut off rotation, get on those window repels, and just kind of cut the map in half, basically.
Damn, that is the biggest champion chum I've ever seen. The way it hangs upside down. Bro, no thank you. And NOCAP's just gotta prove to everyone how much of a ranked demon he is.
Is that his origin story? He's like a typical ranked player, up and coming, crazy demon, swings everything. Yeah?
Oh yeah, that's it. And he's been insane as well. He's been so good since joining the team. He has his moments. He's one of the star players on Elevate for sure. And man, I feel like we haven't cast a Chile in a hot minute. This is a good old master take.
It very much is. Starting Master Bedroom is not that common these days, but it's certainly a playable bomb site. I think all 4 sites are currently. It depends on like execution, how you go about it. Elevate, they do a pretty standard take. Library, into Mezzanine, into Piano Hallway here. Ivy, some people call it. Breach open the wall, apply pressure towards the bomb site. And if you look at NOCAP, they don't really have a lot of plant deny here. So they really have to hold on towards Piano, where Onigiri is currently playing, and maybe get a little bit aggressive here. They have a singular C4. Actually, sorry, I'm actually wrong. They have no C4. They have 3 bulletproof cameras, so they have no plant deny whatsoever. If Elevate walking through Breach, they can stop planting, and that should be the end of it.
Well, here comes the Candelas, here come the flashes, but the entry is somewhat slowed down by a goo mine. Oh, nice shot from Mark from close on the half wall. He's now got to worry about this player on the balcony, but it seems like Elevate is slowing down. Bringing out the shotgun, that's a good move, but NOCAP living up to his reputation. Uppe finds one as well. Onigiri's gone down. Good flank watch, but DCH somehow finds his kill. And Mark has reaggressed as well to retake this half-wall position. Awkward positioning now, but DCH has found one. All up to MC now. I think his position has been revealed. They know exactly where he is. They need to not overpeak him. DCH, that's dangerous! But Mark wins it. Elevate got close, but funnily enough, it was actually NOCAP that won the round.
I don't even understand it. Both teams played so well off of each other. The constant trading back and forth, not making sure that one team gets away with the round with, a significant advantage. And DCH, I think, the big story there, he finds kills out of nowhere, shutting down the big entry players, and just kind of resetting the round, if you will. And in the 2v2, they were swinging back and forth, they're constantly applying pressure, and they did the exact thing they had to do. NOCAP, the former Elevate, they had to aggress because they didn't have any plant deny. They understood the win condition. They understood what they had to do, and they did just that. I love when teams, they read into, okay guys, we're kind of screwed here. Let's not just start doing our own thing. Let's do a 3-2-1 countdown and aggress as a team on the same mission and actually come out victorious.
Yeah. I don't know, just a real brawl, like back and forth. Even little things in that round were kind of crazy. I feel like not often do you get to see a player like dancing around the half wall like Mark did just there. Really, there's just so much individual talent on both these teams, so even when rounds get dicey, I expect we'll see a lot of exciting hero plays.
Big question, of course, in Shadow Defense is the early stage of the game. Dev, you and I know from casual, from ranked, it's like, you can get stuck very quickly in a bad position, right? You go deep into library, window gets opened up, okay, I'm stuck now. You play in Solarium, window gets opened up, go to the staircase, okay, now you're kind of stuck there as well. It's a lot about choosing the right place at the right time, otherwise you need help to get out of that position, or you gotta fight your way out of it against better guns with better scopes usually.
Nice catch there with the Twitch, taking down the mute jam on the main wall. There is still Onigiri with the Electroclaws for plant denial, or for wall denial rather. And he does still have one. What are you doing, DCH, man? Where are your headphones? Even I could hear that. There's a player on the window repel. Potentially a C4 from below could kill him. Nicely placed, however, well dodged as well by Enhai Cow.
Oh! So sharp right now. Upside down repel? Yes, sir. Finds another. Onigiri on half HP from that earlier confrontation as well, so NOCAP, that early stage of the round that we spoke about, it's falling apart. They're in the wrong positions at the wrong time, getting picked off from people outside the building. Elevate, they're not really working all that hard, but the second C4 takes him down, but it took all that manpower, all that utility for a singular kill.
Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, throw another C4 into the player on the double window, I guess. So a 3v3, or 3v4 rather, is a decent look position for NOCAP. And this top floor control still hasn't been taken. As I say that, Speakeasy wants to make his move on through. Onigiri's found one. He's holding on to half wall, traded back. There's still one more player in this top floor. Mr. Punch is trying his best.
Oh my god.
He's taken one before he falls. It's up to Mark now in a 1v2. As he gets aggressive here up the solar stairs.
Loading new mag. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
It's messy, I mean, almost at his kitchen, by the way, guys. This is not another master bedroom defense. Mark, no C4, walks back down, elevate. They're just playing it patiently. They're droning, they're holding angles. They're not going to risk anything right now because they don't know exactly where Mark is playing from. The cam there, or the drone rather, getting shut down from being yellow pinged out. They're going to do vert damage. They're going to open up the hatch with hard destruction as well. Elevate's trying to lock out this round as safely as possible. Now they're droning again. They're bleeding out Mark's adrenaline, right? You're in the 1v2, it's clutch time, you're fired up. But now time is taken away. Mark, that adrenaline's going to leave his body. He's going to start shaking a bit, getting a little bit more nervous. Jones going to spot him to his right, know exactly where he is, or at least roughly where he is, and there it is. Jones gets shot, 20 seconds left.
They do have to file in through the doorways or the hatch, and it looks like they're going to double refract this position. I don't believe there is a breach on the main wall. Very late breach coming through. They should know he's on this 9-degree angle. He should win this. They try and bait out the shots with some shoulder peeks. He finds nothing! I thought he would at least find one, but no, Speakeasy locks him down. A good round from Elevate, so collected in that 2v1.
I really respect the train of thought there from Elevate. It's so risky to drop down a hatch because like you're mid-air, you can't move and get very dicey very quickly. So doubling up fireplace might seem like a what kind of place that's really risky, but no, I think it's actually the safest choice there. They just stack up and they swung the door at the exact perfect angle. You see it right here. They're tacked up shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, sure, they might both die to like a really fast fire weapon like this G11, but they're not stacking in a straight line for like a collateral. You still have to make a micro flick if you're Mark. So they get a 2v1 effectively in the gunfight. They secure the round. Elevate, they're very smart about this. They can play the early aggression, sure, But when they have to slow things down and respect their opponent a bit more because it gets too risky in the round, they can do that too.
I have a feeling this game is going to be pretty back and forth. I mean, these teams are actually really tight-knit. I think this is a very close one. And Elevate historically do love this map. They actually played it 3 times in Stage 1, won it every single time. And that was just in the regular season. They then won it another 2 times in playoffs. One of those wins was actually against Bleed. So, if anything, Elevate should have a huge amount of confidence going to Chalet, even though we haven't seen these teams meet on this map for quite some time.
So far, we've seen both teams also respect the Operator game right now. No one's going with the crazy, funky stuff as of yet, but we did see the Operator ban phase kind of being target banned from Elevate to NOCAP. The Melusi and Nuke, not all that common on Chalet. I know Onigiri back in the day at international tournaments could be a bit of a Nuke demon at times, especially. Also known for his DMR Nukibi, of course.
Yeah.
So Elevate's saying, you know what, we don't want to be denied on our entries with Melusi, but we don't want you creeping out either with Nuke on the side swap. So I like that prep game here from Elevate.
Yeah, and the Nook actually just received a buff, literally last night.
True.
With the patch that came out yesterday.
Yeah. Gadget doesn't drain unless you're being spotted by a camera now, so you can basically have it on almost forever.
Yeah, exactly. And also, the FMG actually got a buff as well. And after it was nerfed a little while ago, definitely lost a lot of firepower. So I think that buff will definitely help. Holding onto the position now is DCH. Is the perfect operator for it, being the Fenrir. He can protect himself from several other places with his dread mines as he reactivates them. But he's not sure exactly where that drone went. To be fair, I'm not either. I think Onigiri has been spotted too, as the Wamai seems to get flushed out of position. The Candela's come. And meanwhile, the Deimos is down below. He's likely to be spotted here, though, and I think he'll lose his fight. Uppe upstairs does fall eventually. Onigiri holding onto that library stairs position before being traded back by the Ying. DCH, he was the Fenrir upstairs. He's finally taken down, but he's dealt damage. A minute left to play. Elevate have cleared the top floor, but it cost them 2 bodies.
Very clean take there, pushing basement, pushing upstairs, applying so much pressure, but NOCAP seemingly knew exactly what was going on, despite Valkyrie being banned, despite not having Echo Maestro. So they don't have any intel, but their knowledge in the server, their feel for the game at hand right now, and what the take might be from Elevate, excellent read. The 3-3 bar heavily favors defense, but Mr. Punch, you gotta run. AHP getting shot very much down from that DMR of Speakeasy. Elevate, we're gonna push that side door, 3v3.
Here's the big flank potential from Scatman. Mr. Punch is low and they know where he is. And now he's taken out. The clutch potential is there. But can Scatman win it? First pick, second pick. It's a 1v1. He knows the diffuser's dropped. Doesn't have impacts to work with. Speakeasy walks into that tread mine. I think he's got that diffuser. He's gone back. The hatch can be opened. Speakeasy, surely he can't stick this, but Balls of Steel, he'll do it anyway. He gets off, he fakes it, walks into a goo mine. Scatman just has to hold on. There's no way this can be won by the attack. What a big 1v3 for Scatman.
The discipline, the patience, and again, the read in the server. There are some things where a coach, a support staff, watching your team play, it's so hard to figure out, guys, what's going wrong this round, because it comes down to what you're feeling when it's playing out right in front of you. Scatman right here, having the patience to say, you know what, they're probably going to go for the smart play and go for a default plan, because they don't know where I am. I'm flanking this without being detected. And I also noticed that NOCAP, they had 1 camera alive in that round in the 1v3. And it was overwatching the library/blue stairs. So Scatman knew that his flank was covered, he knew fireplace was clear, he just had to look right in front of him and focus on that small, simple objective of shutting down the plant and play around the time. And he did that perfectly. Cherry on top, the corner hatch was soft and unopened, and with that being popped with a shotgun, it forces Speakeasy off that stick and just basically confirms the round for them.
And how cool is it that Scatman opens up that hatch but knows he doesn't have to peek it? Because he knows that Speakeasy can't stick it. Like, it's just impossible to stick that. If he had stuck it, that would have been such a ballsy move. But in the end, he walks into a goo mine. That means he can't plant anymore anyway. As soon as you hear that goo mine go off, like, Scatman knows the only way he loses the round is if he dies. So he just holds his position, gets out the shotgun. Man, that was a big round. Scatman used to be such a big player. Of course, if you're like, who the hell is Scatman? Never heard of him before. That's Sapper. He's changed his name back to Scatman, which was his name way back in, like, what, 2019? Before he changed it to Sapper. He told me he's just feeling like going back to his roots. He misses his OG name. And he seems to be in his OG form as well.
Love to hear that. I didn't know that was the case actually myself. Oh, Scatman was like a new person that came to the scene. I didn't know
it's
about
Sapper,
myself.
the GOAT himself.
It's Sapper.
5
Wow,
seconds left
okay.
before insertion.
I mean, you did say it was the full core basically. I was like, well, we're missing a player, but hey, fair enough.
Attackers must
Yeah.
locate and defuse a
Because
bomb.
like Mr. Punch, for example, that's a name that I remember from way back in the day as well.
Yeah,
Just,
so...
made jokes about that, you know, because player names are funny sometimes, you know? Who calls himself Mr. Punch? I mean, I'm not into anime, so I'm not sure about all the One Punch Man, and Mr. Punch. And,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
We always said that we feel like Mark and Mr. Punch, because they both joined the team at the same time. It sounds like a little like children's cartoons, like Mark and Mr.
Yeah.
Punch.
Is it always Machiavelli, or is that a new edition?
Yeah,
The
no,
Lilliput?
they just, I don't know, these guys like to get creative with their
Having
names.
fun.
It's Makalele now, it's Mr. Punch, and it's Onigiri.
That's what I figured too. I like it though because it's not like the NAL where they change the names to like football player names. For example, you have no idea what's happening.
that's a bit
They're just
pretentious.
adding more vowels.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, these guys are just having fun with it.
There's a drone hole. Didn't quite see it there. Finds the other one though. Elevate called a very early tactical timeout because they need to find success here on chalet attacks. It's like one of the attacker maps at least where you should be in control, feeling very confident. Of course, as you mentioned, their track record is quite good here for Elevate, so they should get, in my mind, like a 3-3 or 4-2 half, and they're already down 1-2 going to this fourth one. So
Yeah.
gotta start picking it up.
Well, it seems like a pretty good clear from Elevate so far. On this basement, they are taking the whole map. And I think they've actually managed to take most of it so far. I see 4 players on site. Where is that 5th player there? Oh, Mr. Punch, look at him. He's hiding like a little rat all the way in game room. He's not moving at all. Keep your eye on him in the playground.
It's the small things, right? This is basically saying, A, a little bit disrespectful, but also B, reading into your opponent's habits. Like, they've probably noticed that they don't do any deep droning far off base or the bomb site. Why would you drone that, default pad position is on a bar on a basement attack? Well, you wouldn't. So this late round flank from Mr. Punch, he has to find 1 kill. But the question is, when is he going to start flanking? Flank too early, and you're going to get picked off, or maybe only be with 1. If you flank at the right time, when you go for side execute. He's on the prowl, he's looking for it. But there also was a backside, actually.
Yeah, Scatman's actually going all the way up top as well. There was information, though. Speakeasy was watching a drone. I don't know if Scatman had activated his ability or not, but he's caught out. Meanwhile, on site, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Elevate. But they have found the advantage. They're tossing up where to play this now. There's a long angle here. This angle goes both directions. There are ACOGs on the defense. Mark with the DMR finds his. Onigiri's gone down as well. DCH in an awkward position now, low HP. And Mark here with this long angle has to make good, but he gets his head taken off. Speakeasy planting, up A to cover. Elevate firing up.
Such a good read to go for the backside execute because they were linking around, right? They could have gone for blue, could have gone fireplace, they could have gone for any kind of execute there for the side of Elevate, but they read it, they have a flank cover top 4, they have a flank cover first 4, and they say, you know what, let's just do a very simple, good old rank take. Breach open, boiler, just to the left here, breach the single wall that we just saw, right there, and just walk in and plant. It's a super simple way to play Chalet, but it's so highly effective because there's so few things you have to take care of, means that there's nothing that can go wrong. The one way they lose that, if you're Elevate, is probably to get flanked. That's the one big deal, but guess what? They have that covered too, with drones and with guns. So Elevate is showing us that they can play the fast, the early aggression, the mid-round adaptation, and the late-round execute. They're pretty well-rounded. NOCAP, they responded correctly though, right? They had to go for a flank rather. They had 2 separate openings, top 4 and first 4. I think they made the right plays
seconds
too.
left. Insertion.
It just depends on the small timings, right? Elevate didn't have that drone,
5 seconds.
didn't have that player holding the angle, or didn't win the gunfights that they did, NOCAP would have had that
Attackers
round.
must locate
So
and defuse
I
the
agree with you.
bomb.
I think it's gonna be very much like a back and forth, round by round, side by sound kind of deal here.
I would have liked to see those flanks in a little bit more detail. I want to know how Speakeasy countered the Vigil, because Scatman, he was Vigil. He walked straight past the drone. I assume he would have had his ability active, so I'd like to know how Speakeasy had read that as well as he did. Perhaps he just got off the drone and just hard-watched it with his gun. Regardless, really beautiful work from Elevate, as you said. They know these win conditions down to a T. And Cal is very good on this window position as well. Now, the third is not opened up. He's checked that, so he knows he's not vulnerable to a C4 at the moment. And he's staying quite at a distance to make sure that he doesn't overexpose himself.
The Glass, the Ying, the Blitz, the Lion.
Bomb located by
So, we see Glass in the office balcony, can smoke himself in and go for an injury pick, basically. He can play alone. And you have Ying for pure distraction and plant coverage, Lion to lock down the player position, and Blitz for that push. Gonna go for this one. Rogue's out, Lion's out, Vincent.
And the Blitz is already made good. Taking down one. This is an explosive entry. It's worked so well. What a beautiful pocket strat here for Elevate. It's left DCH and Mark with more questions than answers. Mark finally does find one, traded back. It's all up to DCH now. I don't think they know. I don't think they expect another player to come from the same position, but Upbe's got the coverage. Very textbook from Elevate. Beautiful little execute.
It's always a big question as to what operator should you put in the office balcony, because it cuts off pretty much half the bomb side. But Glass is pretty genius actually, because you can cover yourself. It's like playing Osa or Blackbeard in some sort of ways where you're not gonna fall in a fair gunfight because you don't take fair gunfights as those operators. But with Glass, not only is it completely unfair to your opponent, but they don't know if you're crouching, standing, or proning in that smoke. So even hitting like a nasty pre-fire becomes a bit of a guessing game against a Glass inside the smoke game. So very simple, very clean, and again from a top-down perspective, Elevate covered all their bases. They had a way in, and a bomb site cut off, and they had distraction game. That's everything that you would want in a rush. I mean, add in some confidence, some good gunners, and you got a recipe that cannot fail. NOCAP finally outmatched in a round. That's the first sort of like clean cut that we've seen.
I actually don't know where the Blitz came from. Was it bathroom window?
I think it was bathroom window, one piano window, Glass in office door, Lion on big window rappel, and I don't know where Ying came from actually. But yeah, those were the four positions.
Usually you either clear solar or you do a map clear from library, and they kind of did neither, which is beautiful. I don't think I've seen it execute exactly like that before. Very cool.
The big thing is, if there's no frost traps beneath those windows or no castle barricades, you can get in pretty cleanly. The second you add castle and frost into the mix, it becomes a bit of a do we dare go for this, because you have no time to waste going for that fast of a take. But Elevate now gonna change it around, right? Fast previous round, now they're playing very slow. You got a NOCAP, which used to be very fast, but with the nerf that happened in the patch yesterday, you had to wait 45 seconds into action phase before the first phone call becomes available. So now NOCAP is quote-unquote a slow operator. Twitch, same story. Sap those default cams, take map control, etc. They're changing the pace from one round to another, keeping NOCAP guessing, okay, can we afford to roam far off the bomb site in case of a rush? But also, if they play close to the bomb site, they got map control by not roaming. So Elevator put themselves in a great strategical and kind of mind game position right now. You can see how much map control they got in the first 60 seconds because of that.
Yeah, in particular, Cal's position is just so nice here. He's even being really thorough checking for any util that might be waiting for him, any traps, any cameras. He's being so slow and cautious about it. This is relatively early in the round to have this much map control, as you said. And Elevate aren't focusing too much on making sure they have library control. Like, they're just slow and steady. And they've also got this little sneak up from Upbe. Doesn't matter, the Dokubi's been nerfed. The round is deep enough. It enables Cal to go in. How does he win that fight? Traded back again. Needing the kill here is Mr. Punch, and he does get it with the shotty. Not usually a shotgun you can trust, but the round has panned out pretty handily for NOCAP. They've done a good job at holding this Elevate push at bay. 2 players still up. That diffuser has to be recollected. The roamers are falling on back. All these players on or near the site to make sure that NOCAP maximize their chance of winning this.
Love a good anchor player, Mr. Punch. Just holding it down and making sure the side doesn't fall. Of course, if you shot upstairs, he's definitely been the end of the world. But Elevate, they're struggling right now. They're not even going to go for the attempt right now. They're looking for a kill. They're fishing, as I like to say. Hoping that somebody overextends, aggresses, holds too big of an angle. If they don't pick up the diffuser, well, it might not matter. Scatman finds one. It's just out to Speakeasy with a DMR in hand. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Looking to a crossfire as well. Finally, he can go get the diffuser.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
But I think that this is the end of the rope for Speakeasy. 3 players to find. Yamar's not terrible. Oh, there's info on him. Yeah, good luck with that one. He's teased a little bit by Scatman. He can't take the bloody camera out, and he gets swung by Onigiri. An embarrassing way to go for Speakeasy. But it looks like the NOCAP guys are happy about that. Smiles on both camps, to be fair. This is quite a game. This is quite a match, but both teams are also keeping their cool, which I love to see.
It's that experience, you know? I mean, they know what's at stake here, but also, I think they appreciate, they enjoy a high-level game of Rainbow Six Siege. And that's something that I kind of wish more players, they would have that ability to sit down in a chair when they're playing and say, you know what? I am doing my dream job. We're playing a great game of Siege for my team. My opponent is matching us and also playing a really good game. And whoever comes out the victor right now will basically be the better team and win, rightfully so. It often becomes a, you know, they got lucky and we had a bad day or, whatever. I think there's, as you said, a lot of respect right now from both sides to each other and also appreciation for where they are in their careers right now.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
So how often in your EUL games did you, sit there and be like, wow, I'm so lucky to just be playing Siege and just chill out? Because I always felt like it was a pretty intense environment.
I sadly didn't have that experience almost ever in my career, and it's why I kind of envy people that are able to reflect internally like that, or I guess externally like that. I had 2018 SI when we were down 0-2. It's like that classic story, right? I was going from the bathroom break, because you always have a bathroom break after the second lap, because it's like match point. And I remember I walked into stage, and we had like two, 3 guys in the crowd in like a red hoodie on the right-hand side as I came into the arena. And they're like, let's go, Pingu, let's go, Penta, you got this. And I sat down my chair, and I just took it all in. I looked like 360 the arena, the stage, the lights, the camera, the crowd, the big screens. And I was like, I am so thankful to be here. Even if we go down 0-3 and this will be the end of the final and we played terribly. That was one of the few times where I really appreciated where I was in my life. And that's so rare. That's too rare. There's been too many good moments, too many good games, too many times we have that opportunity to appreciate where you are, and it only happens after a couple of years. So I sadly didn't get that very often.
Oh wow. Oh, well. Very good wisdom to impart onto players like these. I mean, some of these players have played on stage before. Most of the NOCAP players have. I know that Speakeasy definitely has before. Ape's played in group stages before at majors. And yeah, absolutely wise take away from that you just got to take everything and enjoy it while you're at it. And it's nice to see all these players are taking this game not unseriously, but they're relaxed, and it's important to maintain your composure, as these roamers have not really been forced out as of yet. Ape's still on the solar stairs. NOCAP have been very slow here, but I feel like they are making progress.
I think it's a classic first attacking round. You gotta feel out your opponent. How aggressive are they going to be? Are they doing a deep roam or a soft roam? What's the kind of vibe that we're feeling right now? And just play it out safe. If you're NOCAP, if you're any attacking team on Chile, really, if you get to the bomb set in a 5v5, you're pretty damn happy. But when you're playing the jungle, I do expect a bit more comfortability, a bit more aggression perhaps. We're almost seeing Elevate aggressive outwards as defenders, but they realize that, okay, 1 minute 15, let's fall back, play out the 5v5. But if NOCAP can breach all the walls, they got Thermite and they got the Hibana, I think they can still accomplish their ideal scenario because they have enough hard breach.
Yeah, but time's ticking away, and they haven't found a pick. Like, there was no one cutting off those players on the retreat. Now it does give an opportunity for Elevate to just relax. Onigiri is in such an exposed position. Another Kiba comes out. This protects these 3 players in blue. I mean, there's redundancy here. One of these players loses a fight, and you've got another one to back it on up. But here comes the hard breach as well. This push is going to come through quickly, and Haikal wins his fight, though.
They can clear out that shield and just go for a plant, but a bit of an unnecessary aggression there for Onigiri perhaps. No follow-up. Thunder Mine was there as well. That net is closing for Elevate. They're saying, you know what? We got the side block. We can go for a flank if we want to, applying pressure everywhere on towards NOCAP.
This looks so good for Elevate. You've got the player behind the shield being the Warden, and he's found a pick. Smoke doesn't matter. The Vulcan canisters detonate. Scatman's finally found a pick on the flanker, but it's way too late. And now he's got 4 more to find. That's going to be the end of the round, surely. A consolation frag or 2, perhaps? Doesn't matter. Elevate, very solid start. They didn't have to do a lot. They had a good read, and they played the round perfectly.
When you commit a Ram and a Jackal on that attack, I do expect you to, as you said, either get a pick or get a bunch of self-destruction, right? They didn't really do either. So yeah, sure, they use some Ram Bookie drones to like do verticality from office into dining kitchen, for example, to flush out the roamers, but what about the bomb side? They had one deployable shield in front of them, with a Warden behind them, so you can't flash and push it, for example. And because they couldn't clear out that shield, they couldn't go for their default plant strat. Because the goal there is, get both wards opened up, as electrocuted, for example, destroy the shield, flash, smoke, run in, plant, hold the lines, win the round. But that didn't happen. They had a Twitch watching the flank from Fireplace onto Blue Stairs and Fireplace Stairs, of course. And then they had Onigiri walk in solo with Jackal, and I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to get that out-of-nowhere pick, that's super unexpected, but the keeper barrier was replaced, so that denied the angles. He took go very, very far in. Thunder Mine was above the door, near-siding Onigiri, but more importantly, giving away his position, and then he dies to a free fire. So, I don't think that was a plan where they said, hey, yo, guys, I'm gonna walk in, play off my contact. There was Onigiri who saw an opportunity, who took it, who then got punished. NOCAP, for one of the first times, granted, their first attacking round, didn't look like they had a plan in mind for how to proceed in that round.
It's funny as well, because if Onigiri had found that pick, it wouldn't have meant much. Because there were 3 players in blue, so there was a bit of redundancy. Like, losing that fight is more bad than... Yeah, losing that fight is more bad than winning that fight is good, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's it, though. There's like risk assessment. Like every gunfight in Siege, if you're like, I want to see like a brain player. That's how I play the game. That's how like Fabian plays the game. It's like, okay, what are the odds of this working out? And how good is it if it works out versus how bad is it if I fail? That's how I look at the game. Then you have the Sports, the Shaikos who have such good aim. They see fights as, how many kills can I get this round?
Yeah.
Because usually these fights are pretty easy. Onigiri went for the fragging play, but you're correct. There are 2 more players in blue. Getting that kill practically doesn't matter. But dying is a massive detriment to your team.
Ooh, what's going on here?
Did the EMP miss?
Yeah, it must have. Second
There we
one
go.
goes through, but the Tuberal is going to mean that that's not going to go down. Very unusual that you would struggle so much breaching open this wall, but this could be quite devastating if NOCAP fails.
Yeah. It actually will, because you have 1 EMP left, but what, 2 Tuberals, I believe. So, if my map is correct, yeah, they should trick this wall infinitely. They'll have to go below, do soft destruction, and then clear out the Kite Claw, because otherwise I don't think they can get the wall opened up.
There's anything to say, at least NOCAP have hacked a lot of cameras. We saw a couple of defaults. We also saw the bulletproof on site having to be destroyed. Now, finally, a breach, but it is on site. It's not on the top floor. That means that Elevate are not really pressured on this top floor. Drones go in. Good information. Are they just going to ignore the top floor completely?
They might have to. I mean, without the breach being opened up, you have office door to work with. That's it. Mark falls downstairs, and they might be completely locked out here.
Yeah, and the problem is, if you can't kill the players up above, you can't pressure them, then they're going to have this vert. And Upbe's already found 1 pick through it. Almost a kill back. DCH is so close to winning that fight. He sees the site, he sees it's clear, he wants to go in, but the poisoned apple. 30 seconds, Elevator so happy to just hold on to their positions. You
have 1 plan left if you're NOCAP. That is just running in to get those kills, win the 1v1s, because strategically this round is over for you on the attacking side. Elevates, they've locked you out completely.
Such a good setup from Elevate. They can just sit patiently and wait for the onslaught.
C4 ready.
C4 also going to go out. I don't think it's even going to be necessary. Mr. Punch finally finds his pick upstairs. That diffuser's got to be picked up by Scatman. He goes deep. Onigiri is still up. He needs to find kills, but neither of them do. And Elevate are soaring here on their defensive side. They look so much more comfortable than they did on their attack.
I think NOCAP's biggest challenge is actually something that's happening in the prep phase of all things. I think their operator composition, or maybe the amount of intel they have in the operator repicking phase, like their droning, isn't good enough. If you're up against a 2-brow Kaid, why not bring something like the Maverick, for example? Or secondary MPs or double heart breachers, something that gives you essentially a fail-safe. If you're only playing Thermite Thatcher, for example, and you mess up one EMP, you don't really have a chance to breach both walls. You have 2 extra thermite charges, you have 2 walls you want to open, but 1 thermite charge got tricked. Now you can either breach the upper wall and get vertical control, or you can go downstairs and get the side wall. Either way, one of those walls will stay closed because you only have 1 heart breacher. So you could have just picked the Maverick, and then you don't need Thatcher, you don't need Thermite, for example, and it frees up your operator lineup basically. Elevate, they had solutions for, I want to say, almost everything, right? They also played those funky rounds where they play the Ying or the Glass or the Blitz, and they kind of throw you a curveball and stuff like that. NOCAP is playing a very simple attack inside of Chalet, and I don't think that's a bad thing, generally speaking, but this is no longer a new map. You're not, catching opponents by surprise, but you're also playing such a simple lineup that you can be punished. If you want to go simple, at least cover all your bases, right? You always want soft destruction in case of a shield, a vertical floor, whatever the case might be. You always need hard destruction, and you need a way to open up the walls. If you don't cover all those 3 bases, you will meet an issue somewhere in the map, assuming your opponent is a competent defending team, which I think Elevate has proven they very much are. So right now, you're droning, you're seeing the setup, you need to see them pick the right operators for the round, otherwise it'll be over before you begin.
Attackers are heading out to defuse the bomb.
So are these the right operators? We're seeing the Brava once again. Scatman loves this, and look at how quickly he goes for these first 2 cameras.
Yeah.
He's got this down to a T. He's gone straight for that bulletproof. I think he might have got it. The bulletproof, of course, does have the ability to EMP it. I think he might have lost his... No, he's hacking everything, this guy. He's little hacker man. Look at him go around, and he's just checking everything. Like, he's got dread lines. He's so much value out of that Brava.
I'm not sure if this is the right operator lineup just yet, because I'm waiting to see what their goal is. With their current lineup, they can take Library with the Capital probably very comfortably, but they're not going for Library attack. There's 3 guys Master Bedroom Solarium, a 4th guy in Spawn, so they're taking the gunfight to Dokubi. Very risky for Onigiri, stuck in the corner. He needs help. Somebody please help this man. He might die any second here. Marks in the rappel.
Oh, they're getting aggressive on it.
Oh, they wanted to, but they also said, you know what, guys, let's not risk it. He's baiting us in. They had the double ring reinforced. It was getting opened by the Hibana, or attempted to at least. Bit of a struggle with the mute jammers. That's what I mean. They go for a master take. The office wall is reinforced. They don't have EMPs there. They can't open up the wall. They've picked a library clear lineup, but they're attacking it from master, where there's shields, there's utility, there's mute jammers. I don't think they have the right lineup for what they're trying to do again.
And there's a lot of util soak here. We've got the Azami, which you can just keep replacing once they get cleared. We've got the Aruni as well, an operator that doesn't get a lot of love these days, but can be so powerful. It also just soaks up any util, any throwables that you want to toss on in. I really feel like there was a kill that went begging there, and Highcal could have died, could have been cut off, but there was no one on the piano window to watch his retreat. There was no one there to support Onigiri in time. Now NOCAP are left again, very slow. Have to try and push this player at top mezzanine. The flashes go through, but what are they going to do on the back of it?
I believe DCH with Capital is rolling towards Library Balcony, but they need those Capital fireballs. There's no Wamai, there's no way to stop them, so they should strike through, but they're not being used to dislodge any of these positions. Scatman is good for 1, it's at a fireplace, that's a good start, but we need more.
Almost finds another one, a little bit of damage done both directions. Nagiri's found his, but Speakeasy on site, traded by Mark. Highcal is half HP, and Uppe is still up and alive. Highcal is a deadly, deadly fragger, though. He's got 12 kills in the game so far. Uppe needs to have an impact, though. He's about to get hunted down by Onigiri. Low HP, but it doesn't matter. It's all up to the young gunner himself, Highcal, who has been phenomenal today. In a 1 versus 3, we've seen a big 1v3 on this side by Scatman. Can we see it replicated on the other side? He seems to know where Mark is. Onigiri is also gone above now. These 2 attackers now defending the side are separated, but Mark comes up for the kill. Springing up at the final moment. A sorely needed kill and a sorely needed round for NOCAP.
I guess the saving grace there was the Brava denying all that information early in the round, because Brava walked in fireplace double door, I believe, past the barbed wire, past the Fenrir mine, and past the bulletproof and default camera because they were hacked in the beginning of the round. So Scatman, he did his job, but I didn't see Capital being utilized. I didn't see the Lion nor the Dokkaebi play a massive part in why that round worked out. They hit their shots, they played well together as a team, and that's great, but we still didn't see the strategical elements and the operators kind of click even in that round. Elevate, they can cycle through these bomb sites, right? They can go back downstairs, they can go upstairs after this, and then kitchen opens up as well. They can keep working with their primary bomb sites and never go back to bar unless they want to, because they have so much freedom, because they're locked in the first two defenses basically. And here we see the util again. Goyo canisters, deployable shield, mirror windows, the Warden and the Asami. We need NOCAP to now pick stuff that can deal with these things. For example, right now in their upper lineup, they don't have a way to deal with a shield unless you send in the Boogie Drone from Ram. So they gotta open up the wall, Boogie Drone the shield, hope nobody gets, destroys it, C4s, it impacts it, whatever. Otherwise that shield stays alive. The other option is go fireplace after a full roam clear and do all that soft destruction and not go for that back take. That's their options right now. Because again, shield's a problem because they don't pick the right operators.
They had the line there for a minute, which had nades, but they got rid of it for the Capitao. I guess you can try and use the fire to counter the shield. The main thing I'm really hoping will have an impact is Scatman on the Twitch here. I think that really has to come through when it comes to these Vulcan canisters and also the Fenrirs. Because last time around on this bomb site, even though NOCAP didn't ever get into a position for a real execute, they ended up having all of those bits of util on site detonated at the last minute anyway. So it's not like they were going to be able to execute had they even been in a position to do so.
It's true, but they had Twitch last time as well, holding the flanks, so
Yeah.
I guess now they know, wisdom is key, you live, you learn. But we gotta see that, as you mentioned, the adaptation needs to come through and use that operator differently. Elevate the roaming pretty aggressively, and it makes sense because if you look at the attacker lineup, right? Dokkaebi, Capital, Twitch, Thermite, Ram, who can afford to down the entry? Who can afford to go into the building and comfortably take these aggressive fights? You don't have any expendable operators where you can go throw your life away. It doesn't matter if you trade 1-for-1. You need all 5 attackers to use the gadgets later in the round. So I'm curious if NOCAP are going to feel locked out. 1 minute 30 seconds was the timer. Elevate just said, you know what? We got enough time burned. We can now fall back from the first floor and just keep maybe 1 or 2 roamers top floor here for a flank. Asami's good for 1, but... Oh, there is 2, yeah. So 2 roamers playing library stairs and of course bar.
Yeah, but they still have a lot of fallback opportunities here. That's the big thing about Elevate. It's so routine, it's so well planned out. Even the players on the top floor had their paths through the master hatch, down through kitchen, and down through the hatch on the side already lined up. Here comes the Twitch. Beautiful work from Scatman. This is what we didn't see last time. He's trying to get in and do more, but he wants to protect his Twitch drone. He's actually doing a really good job of keeping that Twitch drone alive for as long as possible. He gets into a good position. He actually spots the Goyo as he tries to go down the blue stairs. He sees the potential flank. He calls it out. He pushes the Goyo away.
The flank of Masami, looking, lingering, 35 seconds. I don't think NOCAP has any idea this is happening. So again, with the right timing, he can stop the entire push here.
Oh, come on, land a shot. There we go. Scatman finally gets it. But here comes NHyCal, as you said, the big flanker. He's had his moment. Uppe's also gone for a huge flank as well. Now Scatman has to come through and refrag this. But the Asami keeper barrier makes it difficult. Nice shot. Big flick onto Uppe. 2v3, but he's still chasing ghosts upstairs. Meanwhile, Onigiri is floundering on site. There is nothing to be done for NOCAP. The round is over. The game may be dead in the water. Elevate have themselves match point.
NHyCal flanked around that NOCAP couldn't do themselves because they had Speakeasy covering it. That's the big difference right now. NOCAP usually have a gap somewhere, either strategically, on their operators, or of course on their map control. They didn't do the full roam clear, and I do think once again that kind of comes down to their operators. Like I was saying, every single life is so valuable to them. Because if Thermite dies, no hard breach. If Ram dies, no soft breach. If Capital dies, no fire or smoke from bomb site. No one can afford to go in and challenge anybody, really. So they do a very limited take, And the only reason why they even got to that execute stage of the round is because Elevate happily fell back. They had 4 roamers, mind you. But at 1 minute 30 seconds flat, 2 of them fell back to side, and 2 of them aggressed towards top 4. It's really well done from Elevate because they have basically a plan throughout the entirety. If all 5 people on both sides are alive, we don't care about the map at 1 minute 30. We will fall back regardless of the outcome. But we will have a flank coming. If Elevate had gotten a kill, they probably fall back even earlier to just keep onto that man advantage. If Elevate had died themselves, they probably stay in the room for longer because they know they have to fight for map control. They have these kind of win conditions and timings in their head, in their mind, and it's working out really, very well. Whereas NOCAP, they're kind of just lingering some of these rounds. I want to see a bit more decision making, a bit more confidence from them, if you will.
Well, they're going to step it up now. Match point. You know who's really stepped it up this game? NHiCal, 16 kills.
Yep.
5 and nothing on entry. He has not died. He has not been the opening death once. He's got 5 opening kills. That's an unbelievable stat. The guy has a 100% cost rating. 100% every single round. Cost?
Cost?
AOST? However you want to say it. Cost
Consistency, I like to call it.
Yeah, it's basically the consistency rating, right? 100%. It's insane. Every single round, his impact is being felt. And that Twitch drone already spotted. His shield not been addressed. And there is a long way to go for NOCAP.
Yep, I mean, they have Sophia now, so if they want to, they can actually deal with it for the first time ever. But Sophia's, I think, on the library side of the map, or at least droning that portion right now. Yeah, Sophia's library. So again, wrong operator in the wrong position who can't clear out the shield. That's going to stay alive for majority of this round. If they can take down Speakeasy in the mirror here and get in towards the building and find that successful entry, that would be exactly how they should do to start out this round. Flash goes out, maybe can this person jump in, fire assault from Capital, I believe. But they're not forcing him to move right now. They're just droning out. That's it. You gotta get in there.
Yeah,
Stop valuing your life so much, boys. You gotta get in.
I thought Onigiri was going to jump in, but he's still too scared to do so.
Attackers dropped the
And
diffuser.
now look at this aggression from Speakeasy. He does get shut down by Mr. Punch, but meanwhile, Mark's gone down, and Shed has come back for the trade-in library, which does put NOCAP in a hell of an awkward position, fighting from a man down once again. They need to bait out some aggression here, but I think Elevate have had the read all day long.
Yeah. And again, NOCAP to start flashing, Sophia start, and then they wait 10 seconds, then they go in after they're no longer blinded or concussed. It's like, if you use your util, then it's time to go. There's no 2 ways about it, unless you're there's Goyo Fire or Smoke or a Small being tossed out, for example. But again, they're locked out. Look at this collapse.
What?
NLQ is so
What?
good. He's good for 2. He's gonna shut them down immediately on the entry.
They completely forgot about the library stairs. They never cleared it. NHiCal's been there the whole round. Unaddressed. NOCAP now being punished. Bit of a shot there from Scatman. Almost takes NHiCal down. 1v4 for the game. With his trusty DMR, he walks into a 3-way crossfire and survives. Look at Elevate. They are so patient. They're not giving him anything, not giving him a chance to get into this, all of them playing passively. This is pixel-perfect play from Elevate. We're finally seeing them get back into it. This is the performance of a top 3 team right here, and they won't give him a chance to clutch up. Big game from Elevate. A well-deserved victory and an unbelievable performance from the rookie. A well-deserved win here. The full 3 points they take to the bank.
You praised NHiCal, and I was thinking, you know what, this guy might be the real deal after the first round, but he really showed up, like, in his decision-making. He's feeling the server, the well-timed flanks, of course winning every single engagement, every single opening kill possible, but the man basically did not make any mistakes, and I don't know if he's being, like, led by his team or making his decisions of his own, but either way, very impressed with his performance.
And overall, what an impressive Elevate we got to see today. We haven't been sure what kind of Elevate we'll see this stage, but it looks like they may well indeed be contesters for that spot at the Montreal Major. But of course, we'll go back to the desk.
Thank you very much for that game, Dev. We now move forward with this.
I know what he's gonna
post
say.
desk. It's come on, mate. Don't worry about it, guys. It's all right. It's all right. Look, do we even give Xenox a shot at this point, guys, or do we just keep him? I think we just keep him muted. You know what, Xenox? It is a little bit rude. In fact, how about we welcome you in for the conversation for the first time?
It's been a few hours.
3 hours. But look, that's why they pay you the big bucks. They pay you the big bucks because when you say something, it's always impactful. What were your thoughts on that matchup?
I honestly thought that Elevate as a team probably had a bit of a mature step about them, because this is the kind of game maybe in recent stages they would drop and you kind of then, left saying, oh, they're not going to be able to compete with the top two. First half was shaky. That's when I was kind of looking at the game and just thinking, yeah, NOCAP's probably going to end up winning this. I didn't really sense that either team was able to get full control of the game, and in the end, the second half, a lot better from Elevate, and they were actually able to get some of that control, snowball a few rounds, and just looked like the better team. I think they got a more modern core than NOCAP, who have obviously got quite a lot of history in that roster, sure. But I just wonder if they're running out of time, running out of legs, because, I mean, there's only so much we can keep seeing from this NOCAP roster who, was it start of this year, or when did they come back? I can't recall exactly. Onigiri, of course,
and stage 2 last year.
Yeah, and since they've come back, I still remember when they played the quals to get back in. It was shaky, lost to a couple of strange teams. I still haven't seen enough in NOCAP that says to me they're going to ever be able to challenge that top 2. So, I mean, I don't know if they're like for funners. I don't know how serious they are, but I know Elevate's serious. I know they've certainly got aspirations to crack that top 2.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a lot of us, and maybe it's a bit rough, but a lot of us are holding on to the NOCAP of old, right? And it's probably just
James.
It's just the bias coming out. But Guz, I mean, like overall, this is the step that we needed to see from Elevate. Right? Close first half, so be it. But man, when they got defense side, that looked like it was just all over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keen to dig into it in the interview, but I think their map veto play and the operator bans that they brought out were extremely targeted and worked really, really well. They completely shut down any lurk potential on a map where it can thrive, and I think NOCAP would have thrived in that environment, forced the util game, and that's why their second half defensively was really, really strong. So a good mature performance from them, and they'll be hoping to build into bigger and better things, I think, through the course of the stage, because it is just the best of ones for now.
Now, I haven't been given any comms, but I'm just going to throw production under the bus. I see Speakeasy in our comms, so I imagine there's a good chance that he's going to be here and speaking to us. Speakeasy.
That is true.
Look, it's obviously... What time is it where you are right now?
It's 11:45 in Indonesia.
Okay, wow, it's just on the other side of that. Apparently, I'm being asked if I have vMix muted. No, I don't think so. Look, I think overall, Speakeasy, what we've seen from Elevate from stage 1 now into stage 2 is something that we were all excited for, right? We saw the trajectory in terms of like where this team was going. And now I think in stage 2, it feels like you're starting to hit those strides. You're really starting to look like that formidable team. How do you feel in the server, especially against a team like NOCAP that, we put them in easily top 4, that discussion. What do we think that now means moving forward for you in the roster?
I guess what it means for us is just that we are more comfortable playing against teams that are more aggressive and whatnot, and also like those, like what you said, like top 4 teams, those Fury, those Bleed. Now NOCAP comes into question. Yeah, I think we just feel comfortable playing, and there's like no scaredness. Like we feel like whatever we do will just work. Although there are some mistakes here and there, but that's part of the game, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Without leaking the strat book too much, Speakeasy, the operator bans for this match seem quite peculiar, at least before the patch. Nook and Malusi taken off the board, really good at, obviously denying the lurk. Maybe not specifically in terms of this match, but like the Nook in general, right? Is that something we're expecting further throughout this stage for you guys to take it out and play it?
No, I think, well, when we come into NOCAP, we know that Mr. Punch like to play Nook a lot. So yeah, we just ban the Nook. We try to isolate him out in terms of like comfort wise, like, get his comfort ops out. And yeah, I think the strat we play against also helps that sort of strats we play. Yeah, sorry.
Speakeasy, it feels like over, we'll say the last 12 months or so, that for your team respectively, it's all about, trying to overtake Fury, overtake Bleed, catch up to those two and start challenging to go to majors. It's difficult, of course, in a region that only has one slot. Do you feel like this stage could be different? Do you think you've got enough there that says, okay, maybe this could be the stage where we could say beat Bleed or beat Fury when it comes to playoffs? And if so, what have you guys done throughout the off season from stage 1 to stage 2 to rectify, to improve, and find a way to beat those teams and go to the major later on in the year?
I think absolutely. I think this stage will be the stage that will make our mark, show our presence in hopefully whoever we face in the finals or the playoff. I think we have what it takes now, especially after the huge break after EWC. I think what I said previously was we did change the roles internally to be more comfortable for everyone here. So yeah, I think you'll see it on the finals.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. But just very quickly, usually we like to just wrap up on 4 questions. I actually have one more for you here, mate. Obviously, we're only 2-3 games in now, but you're hitting unbelievable strides as an individual player alongside Enhykel. What's it like right now for you and Enhykel? Because obviously, stage 1 we got to know him a little bit, but we didn't get to see all the glamour and the glitz. Now it kind of feels like it's all starting to get polished. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, I think Heikel right now he's really developing well. I would say he's a younger version of me, so I can actually guide him from his weakness and stuff because I've been there before. I'm an entry like back then. So now I think it's like a good, I would say, a friend, a good coach, a good mentor for him to help. Yeah.
Jeez, look at that. It's a mini-me. Now, I've just been added in my chat. Xenox is saying that it's your birthday next week. Is that the case?
That is true, on the 17th.
Wow. Now, I'm a little bit surprised. Xenox has jumped the gun here, but obviously we've got a day tomorrow that we might see you for.
Well, they play Fury.
If we don't, he's preempting it. It's not me. It's not my words. But if he doesn't, look, happy birthday for next week. Otherwise, mate, do you have anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
No, I think, like always, guys, thank you for the fans, for the support, and everyone. It's like 12 a.m. in my time, and I think it's like 1 a.m. in Singapore, like 2 a.m. in Australia. Thanks for all the support, guys. See you tomorrow against Fury.
That's what we're talking about, mate. Best of luck. We hope to speak to you afterwards.
See you, mate.
2 a.m., 3 a.m. What is it? Oh, God. Why do we have to...
I was just saying, that is a wonderful graphical transition if I've ever seen one from production. 92%, Robert. 92%. Some may say it's a big brain. Others may say it's a big ego. I would say it's both.
I would say it's absolutely neither, Jake Xenox and Diddy.
I'm talking about the audience, by the way. They've also got double-digit, correct? So they know what they're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Don't know about the rest.
What's really sad, though, is Guz and Pengu, the two supposed analysts of this show, have the same score as a little boy there who was about 12 years old at a birthday party cooking snags for some people. I coin flip, and these boys are meant to be the supposed analysts. Let's go ahead and have a look very quickly at the standings and see how things have wrapped up for the afternoon. Guz, I'll give it to you since Xenox has loved to waffle. He's definitely made up for his 3 hours of snooze fest. Bleed at the top, Elevate just underneath them. I mean, I guess Elevate's big test will come tomorrow when they take on Fury, who have looked relatively like a bit of a wounded beast.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, right? A regulation loss tonight against Bleed with Elevate now playing well could be quite impactful for the top 2 seeding.